My name's Stephen Painter. I'm the CEO of educationagents.org. We're an online matchmaking service, so we match international consultants across the globe with various schools and universities using our online platform. Today we've got Carmen, who represents an agency, and she's going to be going through various questions with regards to the corona crisis. So Carmen, do you mind just introducing yourself and your agency to the viewers if possible, please?
Yes, my name is Carmen Jaramillo. I'm from Representaciones, Academicas in Ecuador. Our office has 38 years of experience in sending students abroad.
Okay, brilliant. And which type of part of the academic community do you recruit for? So do you recruit for universities or summer schools or language schools?
Our market is usually work in language schools, summer camps, and especially universities, undergraduate and graduate studies.
Okay, and which countries do you traditionally send students to?
My countries are a lot of them. We work with Argentina, and Canada, US, UK, Germany, Spain, and Italy, among other countries too.
Okay, and roughly how many students a year are recruited via your agencies to different schools, just as a rough estimation?
It depends on the year.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, between 200 and 500 students.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, that's absolutely amazing. So as we know, obviously the COVID pandemic started at the back end of last year, but it's rapidly affected the whole of the international education community. There's more and more cases becoming virulent across key recruitment markets for the education sector. Many countries have become on lockdown now, which has caused the ability for educators around the globe to meet and conduct meetings with their partners on a face-to-face basis. There's obviously a huge restriction in terms of global migration from a travel perspective as well. So prospective students who may have wanted to study in various destinations can't due to cancelled flights, etc. as well. So there's a range of brief questions that we're going to go through with Carmen today in terms of the way that the market has reacted. So in terms of the immediate reaction from both students and parents from Ecuador, do you mind just giving me a little bit of a brief overview about what their immediate reactions look like?
Well, we are already in quarantine here in Ecuador, so our students are taking classes online from high schools, so they know how to feel how things could be in the future. But still our students want to go abroad. They are applying for universities, they are applying for language programs. We don't know what's going to happen. Schools, universities are talking about if they cannot go in on September, that they will start classes online for them. And then if it's more suitable to go in January, they will do it. And students are happy to do it. They know how difficult the situation is, but they don't want to stop their studies. Universities, yes, they are giving a lot of scholarships and helping the recruitment. And that has been very useful because some students really are very happy with that help. And they know that this time will be an issue to go abroad, but they are willing to see what's going to happen in the next months. And but still, they want to apply and try to focus on September intake.
Okay, excellent. And one of the agencies that we spoke to recently, they said that, as you said, a lot of those students that have got the real ambition to study abroad, they've obviously continued to got that passion to be able to go and undertake those studies, but they've maybe seen a dip in new applications. Is that something that you agree with, or is that sort of has there been any effect directly from there from that perspective?
We have more students every day that are applying. The ones that have applied, they're willing to go, but they all of them know that we have to see what's going on with the things that are occurring all over the world. The thing is also that most of the students are applying for undergraduates, for example, that are not available here in Ecuador. So it's something that they're willing to go abroad.
Okay, brilliant. That's great. And so, I mean, I think that we've maybe answered the second question in our initial discussion, but I mean, as you've seen from Ecuadorian students today, it hasn't really curbed their overall ambition to go and study abroad. If they can't study the programs of choice in their native country, then I suppose they haven't got much choice other than to obviously choose that international migration. But yeah, so you can't really see it sort of curbing the overall international ambition of a lot of students from that perspective.
Yes, that's the thing.
Okay.
And they are willing to go, and they know that they have to be careful, and they will wait. But the opportunity of having classes online, that's something that the university has never thought about them, and I think that's would be a very good thing, because they could give lots of classes and masters and everything online, and will be very helpful.
Okay,
the mobility
brilliant.
will stop and people can work, and I think it's a good thing.
Okay, good, excellent. Okay, great. And I know that you mentioned those key markets that you recruit into, so Argentina, Canada, the United States, the UK, etc. So would you see that if one country, for example, managed to contain the virus and begin to start being able to prove the fact that it was no longer a risk, do you see students moving away from those markets that you've been associated to and maybe looking at different countries, or do you think that they're really going to stick with those traditional countries that they've studied in the past?
They will stay with the countries that they have applied with.
Okay, that's great. Okay, excellent. And
simple answer. Actually,
yeah, no, definitely.
The idea is that we have been working with them for a long time. These students look for us for international studies, and usually because we have a lot of experience with universities, we try to give them the best choice for them. So we give them several options, and they choose. They choose where they want to go.
Yeah, and I mean that there's a massive part of trust of relationships between the agencies and the schools. So through either good times or bad times, they seem to stick together, because you can't affect the reputation of your agency by maybe taking on a school that you've never worked with or had experience with in a different country, and then sending students there, and then it could have a severe knock-on effect to the overall recruitment of yourself in the future as well. So it's not only looking at what's happening at the short term, it's also obviously what's happening sort of from the longer term, from that side of things as well.
Okay. Language programs are also helping us. All the language school sent us a new video yesterday, doing a lot of promotion. Please, if you have students, they need language, we'll do it online.
Okay, brilliant.
And it was a great opportunity to see how all the market is helping and providing some things to be able to help our students with English programs or German or French programs. And so students can start earlier and they can start their language without being in the country. So when the things are better, they can go and see how wonderful it's going is to go abroad to study.
Okay,
and
brilliant.
I think is one of the things that this market has to learn, that going abroad is part of grow, to get new knowledge and to come back and be helpful to our countries and to develop our countries.
Definitely, that's it. So yeah, in terms of the online learning, I spoke to another gentleman earlier on today, and he said in terms of those online learning solutions, it is important to the students from where they recruit from that there's an element of live tuition. So maybe there's virtual classrooms on something similar to what we're doing at the moment, and getting students to engage with faculties from those choices of a destination and actually getting some live experience, rather than it just being sent out some information, read through it, then send back assignments, which is self-guided learning. Really, it's not really that full online learning experience. So do you agree that the more interactive that the learning experience from the online platforms can be, then the more appeal it would have to sort of prospective students from that side of things as well?
Yes, open classrooms is the best idea.
Yeah, definitely.
because you can have interact with other students. And you know, when I went for a language program in the UK a long time ago, and one of the nicest thing is to have the schoolmates and to have friends. I still have those friends in my life,
Okay.
and it's part of the programs or going abroad or to study is the interaction you have with other countries, the way they live, the way they talk. It's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. I think definitely from learning English language is obviously deemed to one of the most difficult languages to learn due to different accents and the way that it's taught. So I think that the speaking and listening element of English language, if you're just being provided videos and there's none of that real social interaction and the way that conversations built, it can be very difficult to learn a language from that side of things. So I think those virtual learning environments definitely in the short term to be able to combat this current crisis is absolutely vital from that side of things as well.
Yeah, there are other languages like German and Chinese that are more difficult. They have to do more work.
Yeah, definitely, of course. And so I know that you recruit for a large spectrum of the academic community. So you mentioned summer schools and language schools. So, I mean, where do you feel has been most greatly affected in the short term with regards to this?
Actually, summer schools, work and travel, and all the placements or working, anything that has to be with work.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so any of
Yeah.
that physical.
We have a lot of Ecuadorians now in the US for work and travel, and they are stuck in the US and they cannot come back. We're just, parents are getting crazy.
No, I bet, yeah, that's it, yeah. I mean, as I said, in the lead up to our conversation as well, I think those purely experience-based programs where students are looking to get a taste of the international country before they make that final decision as either university preparation or language preparation or that side of things are going to sort of massively be impacted with regards to that, and hopefully that maybe in the short term there might be a fix to that situation, but it may be something that people might need a little sort of bit of background or planning in that sort of to make that better in the future as well.
Yeah, those programs will be very, very effective. Yeah.
Okay, great, excellent. And in terms of intervention strategies, so I mean, I'm really, really grateful everyone who's joined these sessions, and especially to yourself today. I think it's really important that we share about what's going on. I mean, from the people that I've spoken to, so you're about the 6th or 7th that I've spoken to in the last 2 or 3 days around this presentation. And at the moment, because it's obviously an October, September start date for a lot of the universities, definitely for the main academic programs, it's a little bit of wait and see what happens. It doesn't seem to have dislodged, as I said, the passion for international students to go to these locations. And if they have to defer their studies for 3 months, then so be it. Some people have been preparing 2 or 3 years to do this sort of thing. So for the fact of waiting 2 or 3 months to be able to sort of continue into those studies and do that, then it doesn't seem to be sort of majorly overly effective. I mean, have you seen any other intervention strategies that have been offered by your partner schools to sort of help people through this? I know you mentioned scholarships and that sort of things, but anything else as well?
Scholarships is helping, yes, postponing some activities. They are helping all our students. I'm being in contact with all my students abroad, and they're safe and sound, and they are taking classes online at where they are living, so they are okay. And some of them don't like too much to be inside the house.
Of course, yeah, that's
like
it, yeah.
anybody. It's very hard to be inside. I move all my office to my house because I cannot go out, and it's hard, especially for older people. For young people, they can watch TV, they can work online on the computer, they can have more activities, but it's not easy. It's something we have to learn how to cope with, and it's also good because we have more time for a lot of things that we haven't had.
Yeah, definitely.
I talk more with my cousins, for example. And it has been very nice because usually we don't have time to talk with them
Exactly,
because they
that's it.
live far away, so we have made a chat.
Yeah,
And
no,
I think in the academic things, we also are gathering with a group of agencies in Latin America.
Mhm.
I think that's also very important because we are suffering the same problems, the same things. So we need to be also productive and to make things, new things.
Yeah.
Agents, the companies for language schools
Mhm.
usually don't promote through agents the language programs.
Mhm.
I think they have to do that, and they also have to think that we have to leave.
Mhm.
Usually they didn't pay us for online programs.
Yeah.
So if they want them to promote these programs, they have to pay us something. We have to
Yeah,
leave.
completely. No, that's it. Yeah, I mean, I was going to lead on to that. I mean, maybe it was the lack of financial incentive for
Yeah.
agencies for online programs that there wasn't really that interest. I worked for over 15 years as an admissions director for various universities, and it was always very difficult for them to promote the online programs due to that lack of financial sort of, and maybe the students as well. I mean, in an ideal world, everyone would take their exams at home and go and progress to that university and fly off and go and live that new life. But I really think that the whole viewpoint on online learning is being rapidly sort of changed due to this effect, not only to fix this short-term problem, but probably in the long term, maybe students,
Yes.
after we've gone through this experience, might do 2 or 3 months online during the summer before they then go on to their main program as a preparation for that side of things
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. They still have to learn. We have to learn. All of us have to learn how to cope with this thing. We haven't had this thing ever. Perhaps in a war, but we didn't have the communication that we have now.
No, exactly. Yeah, no, that's it.
And
Completely.
it's important that the students feel safe
Yeah,
and feel
exactly. Yeah.
secure. And I think UK universities are doing a very good job, actually, better than Canadians or US. So they give us more peace, and students are applying more to UK this year.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, that's great to hear. I mean, we work with partners across around 15 to 20 different countries. So but it's good to hear that the UK, I mean, I think that there has been an underlying element with a lot of the UK universities to offer online studies to professionals, especially for the master's degree. So people
Yeah.
that can't necessarily go to full-time education, and for them to be able to input that curriculum for other international students into an existing online platform is a lot easier than starting an online element of your school from scratch. So those schools that have had the foresight to be able to provide that online learning in the past, it's going to be a lot easier for them to adapt from that perspective and creating a new online proposition as well. So.
One of the things we haven't we are not talking is about the language tests.
Mhm.
The language tests are always have been taken by TOEFL or
Mhm.
IELTS in a room. And now students have places to take the exam, but they cannot go because we are in quarantine.
Exactly. Yeah.
They have to find out anything. A language program can do these exams online,
Mhm.
filming perhaps, I don't know, and will be equivalent to
Mhm.
an IELTS exam, for example, a UKVI.
Uh-huh.
We have to be more, the universities that are asking for the UKVI, and sometimes the students cannot take it
Yeah.
because they have the IELTS or they have the TOEFL right now, because they cannot, because they are at home and they cannot go out to take that exam.
Yeah,
And they
that's a
change
very
the
interesting point.
placement.
Yeah, yeah. One of the universities that I used to represent in the UK, they actually have an online internal test that they do. So
I
it's
know
actually, yeah,
one university, I know one group.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's it. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's the only one that
Uh-huh.
has that exam online, and that's the one I'm working with.
Yeah,
Because
completely.
if the students don't have the IELTS at this moment, I have to choose that university, and I know that they can have the exam
Exactly.
online.
Yeah, completely. That's it. Yeah, yeah. I think
And all of the universities should do that.
Yeah, completely. That's it. I mean, it's proven to be to work in terms of students to be able to get their visa, and it obviously checks the boxes in terms of the UKVI in terms of that thing. So that there is an element of face-to-face assessment within that online English language test that they create, obviously. So, and there isn't any reason why. I know that GRE and GMAT this week have moved all of their testing online for the more advanced students that are looking to go into higher level universities in the United States. So I think the quickest whoever reacts out of IELTS or TOEFL are obviously going to see the benefit of that in the short term with their ability to be able to assess students from that perspective.
Yeah,
well.
And I think we have enough things. I'm talking with you. They can be looking at me. I'm doing the exam and filming me. Also, it's not that difficult, but they have to have a way of supporting and doing this as fast as they can.
Completely.
So the move of the industry will be faster. We will be really bad if it doesn't move.
Definitely, yeah, no, completely. No, yeah, as I said, we've all got to sort of keep on moving and evolving and changing in this situation. So, I mean, have you got anything else to add, or are you happy to finish the session there?
No, I think it's everything. Thank you for
amazing.
your time.
Well, yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I'll just finish with a big thank you to say thank you very much for attending. So, Carmen from Ecuador has given us a great insight into the way that we feel that we should be responding within the industry. So, online learning is obviously helping a lot in the short term. Students don't really seem to be put off by the fact of this current crisis as we currently stand as of today, and the industry definitely needs to move a little bit quicker in terms of pre-assessment, in terms of students getting their visa to make sure that they can satisfy all of those entry requirements prior to their start dates as well. So so I thank you very much for everyone who's viewed, and Carmen, thank you very much for your time, and then yeah, we look forward to getting everything sort of sent out and continuing communicating with you all in the future as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, okay, great, thank you.